Do you guys send in sealed video games to get graded? I recently sent in a sealed copy of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as it was my favorite one of the series for my personal collection. Just wanted your thoughts on the graded video game market. Keep up the great content. Dustin, I wanted to throw this one to you since I know it's most germane to your collecting hobby. So what do you think about the whole grading thing? I know there's a whole series of controversies around it. This also is in the toy grading space, the G.I. Joe space as well. So I totally get it. I'm curious where you stand on this.
I fucking hate it. I think it is dumb. And I think that the corruption and what it's done to the market is extremely unfortunate and driven by greed. So it's one of those things where I can understand. I don't relate to this at all, but I could understand this idea of wanting a certification of the quality of your copy, which I'm not into that just because, first of all, I don't even care about sealed games. If I had a sealed game, that would be cool, but I'm not trying to go out and find one. But I don't need someone else to tell me it's in good condition. I guess if I was trying to sell it, I get it. But for me personally, I don't need someone to tell me my game is a 9.3 or something like that. It's just, I don't see the appeal in that. So that's the one aspect. The other aspect, I have to point to a YouTuber named Carl Jobst. Let me see here. Jobst. He did a fantastic video called Exposing Fraud and Deception in the Video Game Market. And basically, to put this long story short, but I highly recommend his video, is at Wata Games and Heritage Auctions, which are kind of the main players behind this. They basically artificially inflated the price of not only just graded games, but took all games along with it. And I'm not saying that that's the only reason why used games prices has surged. There's other elements, whether it's the rise of popularity of retro gaming YouTubers or COVID drawing people back to old hobbies, inflation. Those are all factors as well. But when you drive up a copy of like Super Mario Bros. To $30,000 or millions of dollars in some cases, then yeah, it's going to elevate the entire market. And it was done in nefarious ways. And it seriously makes me so mad. Like, just because it's like this, it's a hobby that I really care about. I really enjoy collecting games. And it's funny now because of videos like this and the exposure of it, we've seen this market. It's not fully crashed, but you've seen it go down. And it's funny watching these people that simply got into it to make money. And I understand that some people get into hobbies to make money, and I get it. It's just annoying when it's your hobby. So I'm going to shout it for that reason. But to see these people getting mad about this, like their investment into their sealed copy of Mario 64 go down in value, I'm like, yeah, get fucked. So that was a little long and rambly, but no, I don't like graded games. If you want to get your game sealed in a plastic box, more power to you, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I can see. Remember when I bought Micah's Diamond and I was talking about how fascinating this whole industry was, as far as you have this valuable thing fundamentally, and then to secure and its value and illustrate it in a universal way, the GIA and these other organizations have come up. But the thing is that when the GIA says something about a diamond, it is universally accepted as being true. And the other important note is that the diamond is fundamentally valuable because it is rare. Right. And often one of a kind, wherein there is no necessary, the value in the games market is, and I hate when people said I was wrong about this, but I was totally right. And the price is coming down is a marker of that. It's happening in,
whoa. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I lost Dustin, I think.
Yeah.
Good, fuck him.
Yeah. All right, well.
We'll see if
back to season 1.
Yeah, see if he comes back. Yeah, I know, right?
How's it going?
Why must these services put me in hell where none of them work?
You can just keep that all in. It's fine, as long as it's still going.
It seems like funny. It's still going. I
insulted you when you were gone.
Okay, so good.
But what I was saying was that people were upset when I would point out that there was one of the reasons that collecting was getting more expensive was because money was becoming so fluid because of the COVID checks that went out to people and all of the rest. Not to say that we didn't deserve these things. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is people had more liquid assets, and then that's one of the drivers of inflation. So naturally everything is getting more expensive, and it was totally true. You could see it happen across. eBay is like one of the great tools of just seeing this across all collecting. And I will disagree with something, although I think you will agree with what I'm saying, which is that I don't think it's okay to get into collecting to make money. I think that's fucking weird. You know, why? Like, that shouldn't be your primary driver. The G.I. Joes I buy are worth a lot of money, and they're worth a lot more money than I've bought a lot of them for, especially because I've had them for some of them for a long time. I don't give a fuck about what they're worth compared to just having the collection and completing it. So I just feel like, I'm not saying it should be true for everyone universally for everything, but I don't know. I feel I don't really give a flying fuck if you lost money, if you got involved in G.I. Joes, for instance, in the last 2 years and are losing money now. If you're here for the money, learn your lesson and get out of here. And you're right. They did make it worse for everyone else in the game collecting scene. It's as I told you, dude, you would have cried if you saw the prices of things when I was in high school on eBay, like what they were going for. It was comical.
Well, dude, I've been there. Dude, I had a copy of The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, and I sold it, and I thought I was getting away with like $250. The game's like $550 now, and now I want it back.
Oh, so I have that one too. It's great, and I do have a bunch of sealed games too, but not because I went out to get them, but because I just never opened them. You know what I do have sealed is which I think might be worth something, is the original run of Persona 4 on PS2. I have that sealed.
Interesting.
That might be worth something. I don't know.
Wait, the original Persona 1 and 2 sealed?
No, Persona 4 sealed.
Oh, Persona 4. They reprinted those, so they're not as
right. But I'm saying I have the original printing, so I don't know if that was if that's worth anything or whatever. But I have a bunch of rare things, but that's the point. When I gave him to Dagan to kind of steward them, that was, I guess, the point is I did it for the love of my brother, but also for the love of the game. We have 6 figures easily in games between Dagan and I, easily. And I was just like, you take them, you know, because we love the games, you know. I'm sorry.
Do you still have that sealed copy of oh my god, what the hell was it?
Metal Gear Survive. Yeah, I have that. That's somewhere in here. Yeah,
that's worth it.
That's a penny. I couldn't resist $10.
Get it graded.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it graded. So I agree with you there. Where I appreciate putting things in shells and taking care of them, but I don't need, since the grade isn't universally accepted, it's kind of useless. I know my friend Kenny that listens to the show and others are expert toy dealers. I would trust him to look at a G.I. Joe and tell me what it is. I don't need some sort of grade for it. I don't know. So I agree with you there. I think it is shady. And I've noticed, and I know my brother is a bedfellow with you here, because I know that he is also really upset about it. Mm-hmm. And he often brings up, and he's right, that it's just put him off to Western games completely, where he's just buying Japanese shit. Yeah. Because it's actually cheaper to buy the Japanese shit and it's in better quality. And I always told him, you go to Super Potato, you go to Family, you go to one of these places in Tokyo that sells games famously. The games are in fucking immaculate condition. They're all clean by hand. They're wrapped perfectly. They're all priced to an absolute T. You'll see 4 versions of Castlevania on disc drive or whatever, and each of them look identical, but they're all different price because one has a little scratch or one. It's like, no competition. He's like, we'll just go buy shit there. You know,
I think that the one of the big takeaways is that, sure, there's a lot of ways that you can make money, and some obviously legal, but it still is unsavory. If you're a reseller that goes into game stores and finds every possible underpriced game so you can sell them on Amazon, so forcing stores then to have to price to market, that's unsavory to me. It's legal, and there's nothing stopping you from doing that, but it sucks. It sucks for everyone who enjoys this thing. And so, yeah, I don't like it. It's annoying.
Yeah, scalpers are fine because they serve a purpose in the market. I guess like drug dealers in a way, but you don't have to like them. You know, You don't have to. It's like, yeah, the drug dealers are out there, but they're not your friends. I went to college with a couple of nice drug dealers, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
But nonetheless, it's just, to me, I just look at it through that lens of not that there's some sort of objective purity or whatever. I want people to be involved in it for the right reasons and enjoy things for the right reasons. Putting money in something as a store of value is different than putting money into something to speculate on it. for instance, my G.I. Joes are always going to be worth money. Always. I know that. It feels safe. And that's not me investing in a fucking get rich quick scheme. That's simply putting my money in something. That's it. And that's a different thing. But anyway, I'm glad it's coming down in that space. I know it was really bothering my brother as well, who's a prolific buyer of video games.